There have been reports about Elon Musk taking drugs such as K to help with his mental health. However, what we saw at the inauguration with Musk clearly tripping as he stared at the ceiling caused alarm for many.
One thing that's really interesting about Elon Musk, at least today, in the day that we're talking, in the minute right now, is that while he's trying to do all these things that you would at least think have some sort of influence on how he's going to run his business and some overall profit that he's planning for the future on, like, if he can get the right contracts, if he can get the right H-1B visas from Trump and just get his blessing to move his business however he wants, then I think anyone who is like capitalist in their mindset can understand why he's doing that. What's hard to understand is that while he's doing all of this stuff, he's been lying to the gamer community about being maybe the number 2 or 3 gamer in the world in a very in a very encapsulating game. Like, you need hundreds and hundreds of hours to even be good at this game, and he said that he was like top 3 in the world, and then he got exposed for lying about it. So it's like so super jarring that someone who's already the richest man in the world, that's going to be one of the most powerful people in the world with his proximity to...
They're all high school kids.
They really are, Dan, but Johnson brings up a good point. Musk touted himself as an amazing gamer, yet he wasn't. He just lied. The Guardian printed Musk would admit in a private conversation to account boosting, which is essentially getting a better player to play for you so your account is ranked higher.
For making it happen. Thank you.
To go further on Musk,
this man is going to be able to get whatever tax breaks he wants, tax breaks he doesn't need because he's already the richest man in the world, and yet somehow there's still a part of him that's like, I really wish I took this person to the dance. It's like that to me shows me a few things. One, that like he's not really this like big scary monster evil genius or anything. He's like a kid. He's like a hurt kid. And then 2, clearly I don't need all the money in the world, because the dude with all the money in the world is like still hung up about stuff that I feel like I've let go of. And so now you have your angles where maybe, unless they've been beat down, you now have something where it's like, here's an interesting thing, or here's a thing that is a completely unrelated story, but it's about Elon, so it adds context to the other thing that's happening.
Johnson is preaching. Dude really is a little kid who demands acceptance. Yeah, but the way he treats people, it's no surprise why he hasn't found it. And, no amount of money in the world can really solve this problem. Let's also just understand what is happening here. Trump has mass signaled to the oligarchs in the United States that he is open for business. They, of course, are willing to accept his invitation.
I think $1 billion is generally too much money. I think that the fact that like no human needs and no like Maslow's hierarchy of needs goes away with enough money is kind of why I'm good chilling where I'm at. Clearly, some of them are out of their minds, but I'm surprised they're not more out of their minds in like a let's try crack sort of way. You know what I mean?
Hilarious, but to be fair, some of them are on drugs, as we established previously. On the topic of billionaires just simply not needing this insane amount of wealth, a tweet from More Perfect Union shows the pay disparity between Jeff Bezos and some of those who work at his plants. In the video, which is captured likely from Amazon's own services, one male worker touts Bezos as being a leader and how this is the best place he's ever worked. Bezos can hardly even give him the time of day, as he says thank you and keeps it moving. These dudes need to be taxed into oblivion.
Hey guys, quick break in the action. I have a new show coming out called The Rick Strom Show. It is going to be awesome. I'm interviewing musicians, athletes, producers, writers, journalists, authors, sports doctors. Go check it out at youtube.com/@TheRickStromShow. Also be sure to throw me a follow on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky. It can all be found in the description box below. Thank you.
To me, Bezos is like the one who's the most gently trying to get in. Like he's got his like seat at the inauguration, but other than that, he's kind of chilling. And I think Bezos, among all of these people, is the one who like believes in space as the real option. Like I think he might dip. We may one day not see Bezos anymore. Wonder what happened.
Just like that.
And he's been on Mars for like a year. Okay. Like that's what I think about Bezos. What I think about, because he's really like the quietest moving of all these people. Even when he got ripped quietly.
A fair point, though technically, he has conducted class warfare against his workers for decades. He can be silent, but his actions are loud as hell.
And remember, Combs is charged with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking of victim one using force, fraud, or coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution. That he was operating this criminal enterprise that was engaged in a whole set of illegal activity, but really we're talking about the exploitation and abuse of women on a large scale. So with that in mind, Combs' attorneys recently filed a letter asking Judge Arun Subramanian to order the prosecution to electronically produce videos of the freak-offs. And remember what these are, right? Prosecutors allege that Combs would intimidate, threaten, and lure women into these extended sex acts with male commercial sex workers using force, threats, coercion, that Combs filmed and recorded these freak-offs as a way to have collateral to use something against these victims.
Johnson and Dan Le Batard also touch on Diddy.
Diddy had parties. These were parties. And I don't know about you, but I've never partied with like 3 people. Lots of people are at these parties. So people know things that haven't been asked yet, and they're very worried about being asked. And so I feel like when I look at Diddy updates, I'm more thinking about where Diddy is in the process of like getting to trial and all that stuff. But I know that there are some people just looking at every update, just holding their breath, hoping their name doesn't come up. But I just feel like with Diddy, it's like I'm surprised they're not trying to plead everything. Like the fact that they're like, my client is innocent. Why would you say he's innocent?
Another fair and valid point. He also brings up the Kid Cudi story, which is, in addition to everything else, insane. Take a look at this graph. This is the embodiment of who is running our country. This is who Republicans have enabled. This is who Donald Trump has enabled. This is the reason we don't have policy that is fighting climate change to save our existence. The reason we have less rights. The reason unionization is being fought. The reason we make less and more.
I feel like when all your dreams come true, when you have all the money in the world, that is when you lose your mind, and usually not in like a fun way. But by and large, it that much power, money, influence, anything, even if it's like happenstance, it leads to something that's like very bad for other people, right?
Hey, I appreciate you watching. Now, if you can, please do become a channel member by going to youtube.com/TYTsports and clicking the join button. If that's too much for you, you can just go to tyt.com/join to become a member. It helps all of us out here at the Young Turks and keeps our network afloat. In addition, you could follow me on my socials on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate the love. Have a great day. Calling out elite people in comedy should be the rule of thumb.
I think Donald Trump's hair is actually another creature.
Yeah.
The hair's like going, good night, Donald. Good night, Donald. There we go.
Maybe it goes out. It goes out and makes money while he's asleep.
There is something about punching down that feels taboo, and punching up is the way to go.
Crack's not really my thing, but if it was, it would be fine if I was on that side.
Wow.
Don Jr.'s on coke.
We won with poorly educated. I love the poorly educated. I'm a very stable genius.
It is very important, the work that the Jordan Kleppers are doing, the work that the Good Liars are doing, the work that our team here at the Turks are doing, and many more.
Used to see these tackles, now they tackle. Oh, head-on-head collision. Bing, flag, footballs become soft.
You have Trump doing sound effects for tackles. The choice could not be more clear. Like, let's not beat around the bush about it.